एस्पिरेंट या अनसिमेट्रिकल कंपाउंड। सर सिमेट्री कैसे देखते हैं? मॉलिक्यूल पर एक टमाटर मॉलिक्यूल पर टमाटर पूरे मॉलिक्यूल को और से बदल जाएगा किसी है ना। तो अगर आगे डिपेंडेंट या मॉलिक्यूल अनसिमेट्रिकल कैसे मान लीजिए अगर मैं आपसे अगर मैं आप ये बताएं ये मॉलिक्यूल सिमेट्रिकल है या अनसिमेट्रिकल, तो मॉलिक्यूल को एक नजर से एक कटकटी मानकर देखिए, बताइए क्या ये मॉलिक्यूल सिमेट्रिकल है? और सब नहीं कैसे पता चला? सर यहाँ क्या लगा है और यहाँ फाइल लगा अलग लगा अनसिमेट्रिकल क्या ऐसा बोलो एकदम मॉलिक्यूल के बीच से जाओ और हर समय हर जगह सेम ग्रुप मॉलिक्यूल के बीच से जाओ इधर चलोगे मिलेगा कोई लेकिन एंड के दाव से यानी कि मॉलिक्यूल क्या है? अनसिमेट्रिकल। क्या है? अनसिमेट्रिकल। तो इस केस में टोटल जीआई का फॉर्मूला हो गया टोटल सिमेट्रिकल अनसिमेट्रिकल। ये होता है 2 की पावर और एक होता है स्टीरियोजेनिक एरिया। सर ये स्टीरियोजेनिक एरिया क्या है? वेयर जीआई मतलब जहां पर जीआई एक्टिवेट हो रहा हो उसको बोलते हैं स्टीरियोजेनिक एरिया। ठीक है, उसको बोलते हैं स्टीरियोजेनिक। तो मुझे बताओ स्टीरियोजेनिक एरिया का मतलब क्या ये डबल बॉन्ड जीआई के साथ क्यों इस कार्बन में फाइल लगे इस कार्बन में एच लगे सर ये एक्टिवेट कर रहा है क्या? इस कार्बन पर ये पूरा ग्रुप लगे इस कार्बन पे पूरा ग्रुप लगे सर ये कर रहा है ये कर रहा है एक एरिया मतलब ये कार्बन डबल कार्बन की वजह से जीआई एक्टिवेट कहां है यानी कि एच की वैल्यू 4 और टोटल जीआई आप देखेंगे 2 की पावर 4 आप जानते हैं इस बात क्लियर है? ठीक है क्लियर है बात समझ आया? तो एक तो केस ये होगा सेकंड केस को देखिए अगर सेम है या सिमेट्रिकल माना कि सवाल पूछे सारे सवाल मैं कीजिए तभी लोग जरा बोल कर देखिए और मुझे बताइए क्या ये मॉलिक्यूल सिमेट्रिकल है? बारे अरे बोल रहा है टोटल जीआई का फार्मूला लिख देता हूं आप लोग ये सिमेट्रिकल 2 की पावर n - 1 b = n/2 अगर n इथेन और b = n + 1/2 अगर n r राइट।
हम लोग बोल बोल के थके कि हम लोग हमेशा अवेलेबल है। हमसे शेयर करो।
कांटेक्ट कैसे करते हैं सर? मैंने ना उसको
टेलीग्राम का कैसे पता चलेगा? होता है इट्स वेरी सीरियस मैटर, हम तो बड़ा मजाक में ले रहे हैं बात को। अगर आज के बच्चों का अगर आप स्ट्रेस देखो ना एग्जाम्स का, तो इट इज क्वाइट और आई थिंक उसमें पेरेंट्स की एक्सपेक्टेशंस का भी बहुत बड़ा रोल है कि बच्चा पैदा कर दे रहा होता है तो उसको ये बोल देते हैं या बच्चे मेरा बेटे का जगह जो DNA टेस्ट करना है वो इसी एग्जाम को उसको बनेगा, मेरा बेटा होगा तो सेलेक्ट हो जाएगा, मेरी बेटी होगी तो सेलेक्ट हो जाएगा। तो मेरे ख्याल से बहुत क्रेडिट लेते हैं उनको टीचर को।
Permanence significant stagnant energy change during the nucleus analysis observation is called system or non-observable success of the as you have read earlier, oxygen as you have read earlier, oxygen is utilized by the organ oxygen to indirectly break down simple molecules like glucose, amino acid like glucose, amino acid like glucose, amino acid, fatty acid, drive energy to carbon, various activities, various activities, carbon dioxide, various activities, carbon dioxide, CO2, carbon dioxide, CO2 produced by the cells have a left out now this process of exchange of O2, this process of exchange of O2 from the atmosphere with CO2 produced by the cells, which called breathing, commonly known as respiration, commonly known as respiration. Place your hands on your. You can feel the chest moving up. You can moving up and down, moving up and down. You know that it is due to breathing. You know that it is due to breathing. You know that it is due to breathing. How do you breathe? How do we breathe? The respiration and the respiration organs and the mechanism of breathing. The mechanism of breathing. Respiratory organs, mechanism of breathing vary among vary among different group of animals. Mechanism of breathing vary among different group of animals. Mechanism of breathing vary among different group of animals depending mainly on their habitat and levels of organization. Lower invertebrates like coelenterates, flatworms exchange O2 with CO2 by simple diffusion. Over their entire body surface. Earthworm huge. They are most crustaceans and insects have a network of helical tube, a transport atmospheric air within the body. Within the body, special vascularized structure called gives the bronchial respiration. Bronchial respiration are used by most of the aquatic arthropods and mollusca. Where is vascularized bags called lands of glasses and among vertebrates, fish, gill, orange amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals respire through lungs. Amphibians like frog can respire through their moist skin. Respire also. Now we have a pair of external nostrils. Opening out above the upper lips. Now we have a pair of external nostrils. Opening out above the upper lips. It leads to a nasal chamber. Now it we have a pair of external nostrils opening out above the upper lips. It leads to a nasal chamber through the nasal passage. The nasal chamber opens into the pharynx. Nasal chamber through the nasal passage. The nasal chamber opens into the pharynx. The nasal chamber opens into the pharynx. A position of which is the common position. The position of which is the common passage for food and air. The pharynx opens. The pharynx opens through the larynx regions into the thicker larynx in the larynx is the vertiginous box which helps in sound production and hence called the sound box during swallowing glottis during smoldering glottis can be covered by a thin elastic cartilaginous strip called epiglottis to prevents the entry of food into the larynx. Theca is the state tube extends up to the mid-thoracic cavity, which divided at the level of fifth thoracic vertebrates into the right and left primary bronchi. Each bronchi undergoes repeated division to form secondary and tertiary bronchi and bronchioles ending up in very thin terminal bronchioles. The thicker primary, secondary, and tertiary. The thicker primary, secondary, the thicker primary, secondary, and tertiary. The thicker primary, secondary, the thicker primary, secondary. The thicker primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary, secondary, and tertiary bronchioles and supported by the incomplete cartilaginous rings in each and vascularized bag-like structure called alveoli. Bag-like structure called alveoli. Bag-like structure called alveoli. The branching network of bronchi. Bronchioles, and alveoli complete the lance. Now we have two lance. We have two lance which are covered in. We have two lance which are covered by a double layer pleura with pleura fluid between them. It reduces friction on the lance surface. The outer pleural membrane is the close contact with the thoracic living where is the inner pleural membranes is correct with the lance. It is correct with the lance surface. The part starting with the external nostrils up to the terminal bronchioles constitute the contacting parts where is the alveoli, and they are duct from the respiratory or exchange part of the respiratory system. The condition part transports the atmospheric air to the alveoli, clears it from origin particles, mm, humidifies, and also bring the air to body. Air to body temperature. Exchange part is the site of actual diffusion of O2 and CO2 between blood and the atmospheric air. The lungs are situated in the thoracic chamber. Which is automatically and airtight chamber. The thoracic chamber is formed dorsally by the ventrally column. The thoracic chamber is formed dorsally by the ventrally columns. ventrally by the sternum, ventrally by the sternum, ventrally ventrally by the sternum, laterally by the ribs, laterally by the laterally by the ribs, and on the lower side by the dome-shaped diaphragm. Not the anatomical setup, of the lungs, the anatomical setup of the lungs in thoracic is such that any change in the volume of the thoracic cavity will be reflected in the lungs pulmonary cavity. Such and the arrangement is essential for breathing, as we cannot directly alter the pulmonary volume. Respiratory involves the following setup. Respiratory involves the following setup. Breathing or pulmonary variation. Breathing or pulmonary variation by which atmospheric air breathing involves two stages. Inspiration, during the which atmospheric air drawn by expiration, by which the alveolar air is released out. The movement of air into and out of the lungs is carried out by creating a pressure gradient between the lungs and the inspiration can occur. Inspiration can occur if the pressure within the lungs, intrapulmonary pressure, is less than the between the lungs. Atmospheric inspiration can occur if the pressure within the lungs, intrapulmonary pressure, is less than the atmospheric pressure. There is a negative pressure. There is a negative pressure in the lungs with respect to atmospheric pressure. Similarly, expression take place when the intrapulmonary pressure is higher than intrapulmonary pressure is higher than the atmospheric pressure. The diaphragm and the specialized set of muscles. External and the internal, intracortical between the ribs, help in germination of such gradient inspiration initiated by the contraction of diaphragm, which increase the volume of the thoracic chamber in the anterior-posterior axis. The contraction of external intercostal muscle lift up the ribs and them. Steram causing increase in the volume. Steram causing increase the volume of the thoracic chamber in the dorsoventral axis. Dorsoventral axis. The overall increase in the thoracic volume causes a similar increase in pulmonary volume. Causes a similar increase in the pulmonary volume. An increase in pulmonary volume decrease the intrapulmonary pressure to less than the atmospheric pressure, which force the air for outside to move into the lungs. Inspiration, relaxation of the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle returns the diaphragm. Return the diaphragm. Return the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle returns the diaphragm. Return the diaphragm. Return the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle returns the diaphragm. Return the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle returns the diaphragm. Return the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle returns the diaphragm. Return the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle returns the diaphragm. costal muscle return the diaphragm in the sternum to their normal position and reduce the thoracic volume and thereby pulmonary volume. This leads to an increase in intrapulmonary pressure to silently above the atmospheric pressure, causing the expulsion of air from the lungs. Expression we have the ability to increase the state of inflation the expression with the help of additional muscle in the abdomen on an average. A health human breathe 12 to 16 minutes times minutes. Now the volume of air involved in the breathing, the volume of air involved in breathing movement can be terms by the using a spirometer, which helps in the clinical assignment of pulmonary function. Uh, pulmonary function, tidal volume of air inspired of expired, volume of air inspired or expired, no, volume of air inspired or expired during a normal respiration, during a nos- in a volume of air inspiration of expired, volume of air inspiration of expired, no, volume of air inspiration volume of air inspired or expired during a normal respiration, it is approx it is approx is the state of the expression help of average a healthy human breathe 12 to 16 breathing movements can be estimates by using spirometer which helps in the clinical assignment of pulmonary function, respiratory volume and respiratory volumes and capacity, respiratory volumes and capacity, respiratory volume. Spirometer which helps in the clinical assignment of the pulmonary function, tidal volume, volume of air inspired or expired, volume of air inspired or expired during a normal respiration, volume of air inspired or expired, volume of air inspired or expired during a normal respiration. It is approx 500 milliliter. It is approx 500 milliliter. Healthy man can inspire. Healthy man can inspire or expire approximately 6,000 to 8,000 milliliter or air per minute. And a volume, the tidal volume, the volume of air inspired, the volume of air inspired of expired, volume of air inspired or expired, the volume of air inspired and the volume of air inspired or expired during a normal respiration, during a normal respiration. It is approx, it is approx during a normal it is approx 500 milliliter. It is approx 500 milliliter. It is approx 500 milliliter. Approx 500 milliliter. Healthy man can inspire. Healthy man can inspire or expire. Healthy man can inspire or expire. Healthy man can inspire or expire approximately 6,000 to 8,000. 6,000 to 8,000 milliliter or air per minute. respiratory reserve volume, additional volume of air a person, additional volume of air, additional volume of air a person can inspire by the for inspiration. This average 2500 milliliter to 3000 milliliter. Additional volume of air a person, additional volume of air a person, additional volume of air a person can expire by a forcible expression. This average 1000 milliliter to 1100 milliliter, 1100 milliliter. Reducible volume, volume of air remaining, reducible volume of air remaining in the volume of air remaining, volume of air, reducible volume, volume of air, volume of air remaining in the volume of air remaining in the lungs even after a forcible expression. This average 1100 milliliter, average 1100 milliliter to 1200 milliliter, 1100 milliliter to 1200 milliliter. Volume of air remaining in the volume of air remaining in the lungs, volume of air, remaining, volume of air remaining in the lungs even after a forcible expression. This average 1100 milliliter to 1200 milliliter. By adding up a few respiratory volume described above, one can deserve various pulmonary, deserve pulmonary variation, one can deserve volume of air remaining, remaining, in the lungs even after volume of air remaining in the lungs, even after a forcible expression. The average, this average 1100 milliliter to 1200 milliliter. By adding up a few respiratory, by adding up a few respiratory volume described above, one can deserve various pulmonary, capacities which can be used, in clinical diagnosis, impression and inspiratory capacity, total volume of air, a person can inspire, total volume of air a person can inspire after a normal expression, this includes tidal volume and inspiratory volumes, TB plus IRB. Total volumes of air, a person can inspire, after a normal expression. Total volume of air, total volume of air a person can inspire after a normal expression. The include tidal volumes and inspiratory reserve volume, TB plus IRB, expiratory capacity, total volumes of air, a person can inspire, total volume of air a person can inspire after a normal expression. This includes tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume, TB plus IRB. Respiratory capacity, total volume of air, person total volume of air a person can expire after a normal inspiration. After a total volume of air a person can expire after a normal inspiration. This includes tidal volume. This includes tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume TB plus ERB. Functional reducible capacity. Functional reducible capacity. If I see volume of air that will remain, volume of air that will remain in the lungs after a normal expansion, the includes ERB plus RB, the includes ERB plus RB in vital capacity, the maximum the maximum volumes of air, the maximum volumes of air a person can breathe in after a forced expression, the includes ERV, TB, and IRV or maximum volumes of air person can breathe out after a forced inspiration. Total lungs capacity and total volume of air accounted total volumes of air accounted in the lungs at the end of the forced inspiration. The includes RB plus CRB, TB, and IRB or vital capacity, reducible volume, exchange of gases. Alveoli are the primary states. Alveoli are the primary sites. Alveoli are the primary sites or exchange of gases. Alveoli are the primary sites. Alveoli are the primary site of exchange of gases. The exchange of gases also occurs. Exchange of gases also occurs between bloods and tissue. O2 and CO2 are exchanged in this side by simple diffusion, mainly based on the pressure and construction gradient solubility of the gases are well as the thickness. Alveoli are the primarily site. Alveoli are the primary site. Alveoli are the primary site of exchange. Alveoli are the primary site of exchange. Alveoli are the primary site of exchange gases. Exchange of gases also occurs. Exchange of gases also occurs between blood and tissue. O2 and CO2. O2 and CO2 are exchanged. O2 and CO2 are exchanged in this side by diffusion. In this side by simple alveoli are the primary side of exchange of gases. Exchange of gases also occurs between blood and tissue. O2 and CO2 exchange in these sites of simple diffusion, mainly based on pressure, construction gradient solubility of the gas, as well as the thickness of the membranes involved in diffusion are also some important factors that can affect the rate of diffusion. Pressure contribute by an individual. Pressure contribute by an individual gas in a mixture of gases in called parietal pressure. Parietal pressure and the represent and PO2 for oxygen and PCO2. PO2 for oxygen and PCO2 for carbon dioxide. Parietal pressure of these two gases. Parietal pressure of these two gases in the atmospheric air and the two side of diffusion, and given that respiratory gas O2 atmospheric air on 159, alveoli 104, or blood deoxygenated 40, blood oxygenated 95, tissue 40. CO2 atmospheric air 0.3, alveoli 40, blood deoxygenated 45, blood oxygenated 40, tissue 45. Now a gradient is present. A gradient is present for CO2. A gradient is present for CO2. For CO2 in the opposite direction. A gradient is present for CO2 in the opposite direction. From tissue for blood to alveoli. Blood to alveoli at the solubility of CO2 each solubility of CO2 is 20 to 25 times 20 to 25 times higher than that of O2. The amount of CO2 that can diffuse the amount of CO2 that can diffuse through the diffusion membrane through the diffusion membrane per unit difference in parietal pressure in much higher compared to that of O2 the diffusion of membrane the diffusion of membranes is made up of the diffusion of membrane is made up of three major layer namely three major layer uh, a gradient is present for CO2 a gradient is present for CO2 in the opposite direction now from tissue to blood and blood to alveoli from tissue to blood to alveoli as the solubility of O2 of the solubility of CO2 is 20 to 25 times higher than that of O2. The amount of CO2 that can diffuse through the diffusion membranes per unit difference in parietal pressure in much higher compared to that on O2. The diffusion membrane is made up of three major layers, namely the thin squamous epithelium, the thin squamous epithelium of alveoli, the endothelium of alveolar capillaries, and the basement membrane supporting the squamous epithelium, and the basement membrane surrounding the single layer, and the basement membrane surrounding the single layer and endothelial cells of the capillaries. In between them, however, its total thickness is much less than a millimeter. The thickness in much less than a millimeter. Therefore, all the factors is your body and favorable for diffusion of O2 from alveoli to tissue, and that CO2 from tissue to alveoli. Now, transport of gases. Blood is the medium of transport. Blood is the medium. No, blood is the medium of transport. Blood is the medium of transport of O2 and CO2. Blood is the medium of transport. O2 and CO2. About 97%. Of O2 is and about 97%. About 97% of O2 is about 97%. About 97% of O2 is transported by RBC in the blood. The remaining 3% O2 is carried in the dissolved state through the plasma. Nearly 20 to 25% CO2 is the transport by RBC, whereas 70% of it is carried a bicarbonate about 7% of CO2 is carried in a dissolved state through plasma. Transport of oxygen. Hemoglobin is red colored. Iron containing pigments present in the RBC. O2 can bind with hemoglobin is the reversible manner of the oxyhemoglobin. Each hemoglobin molecules can carry a maximum of 4 molecules of O2. Binding of oxygen with hemoglobin is primarily related to particle pressure of O2, particle pressure of O2, particle pressure of CO2, hydrogen ions, construction and temperature are the construction and temperature are the other factors which can interfere with the bind. A sigmoid curve is obtained when curve obtained when pigment saturation of hemoglobin with O2 is chloride agent. The PaO2, the curve is called the oxygen dissociation curves and highly useful in the study the effect of factors like PCO2, H plus contraction of binding of CO2, the hemoglobin in the alveoli, the in the hemoglobin where there is high PO2, high PO2, low CO2, PCO2, laser H plus contraction in lower temperature. The factors are all favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin, whereas in the tissue where low PO2, high PCO2, high H plus contraction and the higher temperature exist, the conditions are favorable for dissociation of oxygen from the oxyhemoglobin. This clear indicates the O2 gets bonds to the hemoglobin in the land surface and gets deassociated at the tissue. Every 100 milliliter of the oxygenated blood can deliver around 5 milliliter or O2 to the tissue under normal physiology condition. Transport of carbon dioxide, CO2 is carried by hemoglobin. Carbo hemoglobin about 20 to 25, about 20 to 25%. Now the binding is related to the parietal pressure of CO2. PCO2 is the major factor which could represent the binding where PCO2 is high and PO2 is low. As the tissue more binding of carbon dioxide occurs, whereas when the PCO2 is low, at in the alveoli dissociation, carbonium hemoglobin takes place due to with the bond of the hemoglobin from tissue delivered alveoli. IBC contains very high contraction of the enzyme carbonic drives and minutes treatment the same present in the plasma to the enzyme catalyst to following reaction of the both destruction. Reaction related deoxygenated blood delivered from the forehead regulation of respiration. The human beings have significant ability to maintain and moderate the respiratory rhythm. A suite of the demands of the body tissue. This is done by the this is done by the neural system. A specialized center present specialized center specialized centers present in the medulla region of the brain called respiratory rhythm center is primarily responsible for the regulation. Another center present in the pons region of the brain called pneumotaxis center can moderate the functions of the respiratory the function of the respiratory rhythm center neural neural signal from these centers can reduce the duration of inspiration the thereby alter the respiratory rate. A sensitive area is situated and adjust the rhythm center, which is the highly sensitive to CO2 and hydrogen ion increase in the substance that active these centers in the respiratory process by which this substance can be eliminated respector the associated with the poverty in the carotenoid artery also can reorganize change in CO2 and H plus construction the same necessary signal to the rhythm center. Medical actions the role of oxygen in the regulation of the respiratory rhythm is quite insignificant. Now, disorder of inspiration system. Asthma is a difficulty in breathing. Asthma is a difficulty in breathing, causing due to inflammation of bronchi and bronchioles. Uh, Emphysema is a chronic disorder. Emphysema is a chronic disorder in which alveolar walls are damaged, due to which respiratory surface decreased. One of the major causes of the cigarette smoking. Emphysema. Emphysema is a chronic disorder in which alveolar walls are damaged, due to which respiratory surface is decreased. One of the major causes of this is cigarette smoking. Occupational respiratory disorder in the cretin industry, apically those involve guidance in the stone breaking so much that the produced that the defense mechanism of the body cannot fully cope with the long exposure can give to inflammation leading to fibrosis, proliferation of the membranous tissue, and those causing serious lungs damage, and this causing serious lungs damage occurs in such suit where productivity mask. Hello friend, hello friend, hello, hi, hello. Hospital, O2. CO2 0.3 alveoli on and 4 on and 4 on and 4 at 30 और ब्लड ऑक्सीजन है O2 হচ্ছে 30 और CO2 হচ্ছে 45 ब्लड ऑक्सीजन है 99 O2 95 और CO2 40 tissue 40 tissue 40 और CO2 45 CO2 45 stage breathing the pulmonary enters by which atmospheric gas and drawn to the CO2 rich alveoli air in the release out the diffusion of the gases O2 CO2 across alveoli membrane across alveoli air released out and diffusion of gases O2 and CO2 diffusion of gases O2 and CO2 across diffusion of gases and O2 and CO2 across alveoli membrane transport of the gases by the blood diffusion of O2 and CO2 between diffusion of gases O2 and CO2 across alveolar membrane transport by gases by the blood diffusion of O2 and CO2 between blood diffusion of O2 Bye bye friend. Good night.
भरे वचन बोल करके मोह भरे कपट भरे वचनों को सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन जब अर्थात और सत्य के वचन पे ऐसे लगते बहुत कड़वे, मुंह मीठा भीतर कपट, पर्दा रहे बास, मुंह में मीठा बोले हृदय में कपट, वही पर्दा लगा भगवान बैठे हुए थे। तो सद्मार्ग के पति के उनकी जवान में भले तुम्हें कड़वाहट लगे, लेकिन हृदय बहुत मीठा है और पीठ पर होकर भगवान वहां से बोल रहे पकड़ पाओ पकड़।
Expression of breakdown of compound, breakdown of compound like glucose, breakdown of compound like glucose, breakdown of compounds like glucose, amino acid, breakdown of compound like glucose, amino acid to produce energy, breakdown of compounds like glucose, breakdown of compounds like glucose, amino acid, it is a produce energy. Breathing is commonly known as respiration. Must step involves for respiration. Breathing, exhale. Exchange of gases between lungs, exchange of gases between lungs, exchange of gases between lungs and pulmonary capillary exchange exchange of gases between lungs and pulmonary capillary, exchange of gases between lungs, exchange of gases between lungs and pulmonary capillary, exchange of gases between lungs, exchange of gases between lungs and pulmonary capillary, আর এক নম্বর হচ্ছে ব্রিথিং, দু নম্বর হচ্ছে এক্সচেঞ্জ অফ গ্যাসেস বিটুইন লাংস অ্যান্ড পালমোনারি ক্যাপিলারি, ব্রিথিং এক্সচেঞ্জ অফ গ্যাসেস বিটুইন লাংস অ্যান্ড পালমোনারি ক্যাপিলারি, তিন নম্বর ট্রান্সপোর্ট অফ গ্যাসেস, চার নম্বর এক্সচেঞ্জ অফ গ্যাসেস বিটুইন সিস্টেমিক এক্সচেঞ্জ অফ গ্যাসেস বিটুইন এক্সচেঞ্জ অফ গ্যাসেস between systemic capillaries, blood tissue. 5. Cellular respiration, respiratory structure on the basis of habitat আর হচ্ছে লেভ অফ অর্গানাইজেশন, আর habitat aquatic, terrestrial. Aquatic usually gills of respiration, or usually lungs of respiration. Terrestrial usually lungs of respiration. No bronchial respiration, no as pulmonary respiration. No as bronchial respiration, no as pulmonary respiration. Lack of organization, cellular, phylum porifera, tissue, collentate, centrophora, cellular, phylum, phylum porifera, collentate, centrophora, organ system, annulus, arthur, not critical, arthropoda, gills, lungs, lymphatic system, mollusca, features like gills, hygrodermata, tube feet, hemichordata, gills, chordata, fish gills, amphibia, gills, bacteriophages, in lungs, bacteriophages lungs, mollusca, features like gills, hygrodermata, tube feet, hemichordata, gills, chordata, gills, amphibia, gills, bacteriophages, in lungs, reptiles, apes, mammals, lungs. Respiratory system, external nostril, nose, nasal chamber, internal nostril, nose, pharynx, common passage of food air, pharynx, common passage of food air, larynx, sound box, voice box, larynx, sound box, voice box, voice box, has vocal cord for sound production, larynx has vocal cord, sound production, it is made up of a cartilage, and one of its cartilage is epiglottis, and that covers the glottis, opening the pica during swallowing of food, thicker, untapped, incomplete, C-shaped, cartilaginous rings, incomplete dorsally due to presence of the dorsally, 1 degree bronchi, 2 degree bronchi, 3 degree bronchi, initial bronchi, terminal bronchi, respiratory bronchi, alveolar duct, alveoli, exchange zone, respiratory zone, respiratory system, conducting zone, respiratory zone, nostrils up to terminal external nostrils up to external nostrils up to terminal bronchioles, external nostrils up to external nostrils up to terminal bronchioles. Friction of air being the air of body temperature, being the air of body temperature, being the air of body temperature, being the air of body temperature. Taps the dark parietal mucus, take the air of the respiratory zone, take the air of the respiratory, take the air of the respiratory zone. Thoracic chamber, dorsally vertebral column, ventrally sternum, laterally ribs, below diaphragm. Thoracic chamber, and dorsally vertebral column, dorsally vertebral column, ventrally sternum, laterally ribs, below the diaphragm. Any change in its volume, is replicate in the pulmonary volume, Any change in its volume is replicates in the pulmonary volume. Vertebral columns, ribs, a mechanism of breathing, a muscle involved in breathing, diaphragm, IMC, ICM, diaphragm, ICM,